Hello and welcome back to another video showing you how to basically grow your photography business. So in this video I'm going to show you 11 ways to get more photography clients, and it's going to be free and paid, and I'm just going to give a little bit of a description in regards to each method, whether I've used them or not, because at the end of the day, I haven't used all these methods, but I've seen others use them. I've had conversations with people who have used them, so I know they work. So you just got to sit down and be like, hey, does this make sense for me? Is this right for my business? Will this work for me? Kind of a thing, right? So, but I want to bring awareness to the fact that these methods exist, so that way you can at least explore, identify these opportunities, and then check them out and see if they're right for yourself. So again, my name is Joe. I'm with Dana and Joe. We help photographers grow their photography business via marketing and sharing all the information that we've learned over the past 7 years as wedding photographers. And at the end of the day, if you're not already in there, if you like these videos, if you like these tips, come on over to the Booking Lab over on Facebook. It's a free Facebook group, and inside that group, I basically go and dive deeper into these topics, and you can ask questions, and you can basically, get some one-on-one attention that you can't normally get in these videos, okay? So without further ado, I'm going to hop right into it, and I'm going to go through the 11 ways to get more photography clients, okay? So I got my little list over here just so I don't go off on tangents. I'm very good at going off on tangents. All right, so we're going to go through, let's talk about the free methods first, and then we'll get into the paid stuff. So make sure you stick around to the end, because I'll talk about some good paid methods. All right, first one, vendor relationships. So vendor relationships are something that we are still working on ourselves. So, everyone talks about word of mouth referrals, right? If you can get word of mouth referrals, I know photographers out there who literally do nothing but survive off of word of mouth referrals because they've built such good vendor relationships that they literally are fed leads on a regular basis. Think about it, right? You work with some of your ideal venues. In our case, as wedding photographers, it's venues, right? Or wedding planners. If you can get in with them and build a good relationship and have a good rapport, and you guys like working together as a dream team, and they have so many more brides reaching out to them than they do you, and they trust you and like you, and they send brides and couples your way, not only do you look like an authority and the couples respect you more, but that is free advertisement, guys. So we have not cracked the nut on vendor relationships yet, mostly because we have moved so much. We've literally moved our photography business every 2 years. So it's been really hard to kind of hunker down on that. So we've used a lot of paid methods, but it is something that we are focusing on and something that we want to get better at. But I know for a fact there are tons of photographers that I interact with on a regular basis where vendor relationships are the heart of their business. So there's method number one. Number two, you can do cold outreach on social media. This one's extremely difficult for me because cold outreach just makes me feel uncomfortable. However, there are people who do cold outreach via Instagram who do a fantastic job of booking couples on there, which is crazy to think about, right? So there's methods that you can use. Go on Instagram and basically find. You can look at hashtags. You can look at local areas where people get engaged. You can go on there and you can basically hunt down engaged couples, friend them, like their photos, and start messaging them. But you're not going to message them, hey, need a wedding photographer? Be like, hey, I saw you're engaged. Congratulations. Your ring's beautiful. It looked like the way he proposed was amazing. I'm a wedding photographer in XYZ area. I have this helpful resources that you may find valuable, right? So you don't want to just be beating down the door saying, hey, book me, look at me, right? You don't get married on the first date. So what you're trying to do is, give them something of value to let them know that you exist. It's their first time interacting with your brand. Get them to, know, like, and trust you through something that is going to help them out. Because, let's be honest, if someone cold DMs you on Instagram, it's most likely, I know for me, like your walls go up. You're like, hey, why does this person reach out to me? Who are they? I don't even know who these people are, right? So if you can figure out a way to break through that, cold outreach does work, and there are people out there using that method effectively. Next, style shoots. So style shoots can lead into vendor relationships, but style shoots also help you, especially if you're beginning if you're just starting, or if you're looking to pivot and rebrand, style shoots are a fantastic way to do that because one, it gets the photos that you need up on your website, up on your social media, of the things that you want to be shooting more of. So, and especially if it's something unique and different, and then couples, they see that stuff and they see it online and they're like, oh, I want that. That's what I want, okay? So this is, I guess this could go in the free/paid category because sometimes there is money involved. You have to pay, floral, cake. If they're not willing to donate their services, sometimes you have to, if you're trying to get into a venue, you may have to, the venue charges a fee to do a style shoot. But really at the end of the day, style shoot can work for you because you're building those relationships with those vendors, but you're also getting material and content for your social media where you're in hopes of a couple seeing that and wanting that, and only you are the one to provide that, okay? Because that's what you're showing that on your site. All right, blogging. I'm really big on blogging. It's something we neglected for the longest time, and I wish we had started from day one. I regret not reblogging sooner. So we started it maybe about 4 months ago, and we started to see the fruits of the labor already. So we've done a few blog posts that have really worked very well to us. Is bringing a lot more traffic to our website, more than it was previously, significantly, and I can track all that stuff, and I know it's working. And we've booked clients because of our blogging. So blogging does work. If there's one thing that I would tell a photographer when they're first starting out, is find ways to start blogging consistently on your site. It doesn't have to be every single week. It doesn't have to be every single day. It could be once a month. But if you have a system in place and you understand SEO and you understand blogging and keyword research, one really rock solid blog can go much further than 4 blogs that aren't optimized or going after the wrong keywords or going after things that people aren't looking for. So if you can get a few good cornerstone rock solid blogs on your site, it can pay huge dividends for you in the long run because it's going to allow people who are looking for a particular photographer or a particular subject to come back to your website and to book you. So blogging, do it. All right, next, Pinterest. Pinterest is also something that we're exploring as well. There is no question in my mind that Pinterest is effective. I know other photographers who book people off Pinterest all the time. And essentially the goal behind Pinterest is, a lot of couples are on there wedding planning on Pinterest. I saw a stat the other day. It said 80% of couples are using wedding planning services online, right? So they go online, they plan their wedding via, online methods. One of them that we all know is Pinterest, right? We even start to hear the catchphrase, hey, it's a Pinterest wedding. Because there are so many ideas and it's visual, and you got to think the wedding day is visual. So they go in there, they see things they like, they create their boards and everything. So why not have them on there pinning your stuff, right? So what you want to be doing there is highlighting your work, highlighting blog posts, resources, things that you have that you can offer them, featured weddings at certain venues, certain engagement session locations, things like that. So when they're in there and they're typing in, I want to see, wedding photos at this particular venue, you want your pins popping up there so that when they click on that, they come over to your website, they see that you've already shot at that venue, and you start to build that trust factor with them, and then hopefully at the end of the day they reach out to you and book you as their photographer. So Pinterest does work. It is something that we've started doing recently, so we don't have a ton of data, but we are starting to see all the pinning that we were doing a few months ago is starting to pay off now because we're getting more website visitors to our site, and that's really what we want at the end of the day. All right, Google reviews. A lot of people like reviews on Facebook, the Knot, Wedding Wire, things like that. But really the king of reviews is Google, especially if you're doing a lot on, if you're doing blogging or anything for that matter, because people are going in Google and they're typing in Phoenix wedding photographer, or they're typing in photographer near me, right? How many times have you gone and based a decision to go to a restaurant or to hire a plumber or an electrician based off the amount of reviews they had, right? I understand there's Yelp and there's other things out there. Yelp I've never really seen a lot of success with because I don't feel like our ideal clients are on there. Our ideal clients I feel are on Google. So At the end of the day, I would highly encourage you to have a Google My Business listing and start collecting reviews on there. Okay, so even if you are like, well, all my clients come from The Knot or The Wedding Wire or Facebook, collect reviews on there, but at the same time, get them to write on Google as well, okay? Because you're going to show up in more search results, and trust me, it just looks better across the board. And there's not going to be a single digital marketer out there who's going to tell you not to put reviews on Google, okay? Because Google's the king, especially when it comes to reviews. Because guess what? When you go on Google and you look up My Business Listing, you know what else it says under there? It also gives me our star rating on Facebook. It also gives us our star rating on The Knot and Wedding Wire. So Google actually pulls all of those reviews and it consolidates them into one place. And it's almost kind of like a highlight reel. All right. So get reviews on there. You know, we've been trying to get more video reviews as well. Unfortunately, we can't put those on Google. You could do it as maybe like a Google post, but it's good for social media. But always try to get those written reviews over on Google. Okay. Next. Messenger marketing. This is free. I got tons of videos on the YouTube channel talking about messenger marketing and how that works. But essentially what you're doing is instead of building an email list, you're building a Facebook Messenger list. And the reason this is powerful is because people can find you on there, on your social media, on your website, whatever. They click one click of a button and then they immediately become a subscriber, the equivalent of giving you their email address, right? So whatever I can do in email, I can now do in Facebook Messenger. And the reason why it's more powerful than email at certain times is the open rate is 80%, whereas email is typically in the 15 to 30% range, right? So you get more bang for your buck. If you want to learn more about messenger marketing, check out the other videos on the YouTube channel. Next, if you're a wedding photographer, engagement sessions. Put a price tag to your engagement sessions, and if you are starting out or if you're having a hard time booking clients, start giving them away for free. I understand you probably hear a lot of people who tell you don't give engagement session aways for free. Think of it, have you ever gone to a dealership and bought a vehicle without test driving it first? Most likely not. The reason the dealerships want you to take that test drive because they know once you're in it, you start to build some kind of connection affinity with that vehicle. I mean, all the vehicles I test drive, I end up going home with, right? So you're basically giving them the opportunity to test drive your services, right? And see what it's like working with you, but you're also getting them to spend time with you. The more that people spend time with you, the more that they like and trust you. And once you have that trust factor, right, as long as they like the photos, as long as the experience was good, there's no reason why they shouldn't book you. Okay, so start using the engagement session as leverage in giveaways. I have more videos on YouTube as well, especially when it comes around engagement session, because I am absolutely huge on that because we've moved our business so many times. We've moved so much that we've used engagement sessions and bridal shows to essentially jumpstart our business, and we do it quick using that method because it gets us in front of people. It gets us interacting with them, and it gets us leads and clients through the door that we end up booking, and it gets us going. All right, so that's the free side of the thing. So I got a few on the paid side. So paid bridal shows. The bridal shows aren't dead. We've done bridal shows, like I just alluded to. We do engagement sessions and we do bridal shows. Those two methods alone, whenever we move to a new area, we do those two things, and we immediately are able to book anywhere from 10 to 15 weddings our first year in a new location. So if you're established or been hanging out in a location and you got pictures from, because we were in California, we moved to Arizona, right? So two completely different looks. So we had to get up and running quick, and we needed to show people that, hey, yeah, we're new to the area, but we got some experience here. So we give the engagement session away. We start shooting in those locations to let people know that, hey, we are in Phoenix. We know the area. We know what we're doing. But at the bridal show, we're doing the same exact thing, right? So bridal shows cost money, but they do work. Right? At the end of the day, you want to book at least 1 or 2 weddings, so you're recouping your money. But this is going to put you in front of a lot of couples in a really short amount of time. And it's going to allow you to build up your list of leads that you can then market to, okay? So bridal shows are not dead. They do work. We consistently use them. We use them every time. We've done it in 3 different cities now, right? 3 different cities, all different bridal shows, and we've been able to book every time we move to a different city and do a bridal show. So if you need a method and you need tips and tricks, come over and join the Facebook group and ask questions, and we'd be happy to help you out. All right, Facebook ads. So I have a whole video showing 4 Facebook ad strategies and what to do. Facebook ads work, okay? You just have to use them properly. So, you know, one of the Facebook ad strategies that I use consistently, again, you're going to hear me talk about this a lot, is I do an engagement session giveaway, and I do it twice a year using Facebook ads. It is a fast way to generate a lot of leads for just a few $100, and we typically book anywhere from $10,000 to $30,000. It just depends on how many leads, how long we run it for, so on and so forth. So the most recent one that we ran was $19,000 in bookings, right? And then we're doing another one, and we're starting to book couples from that engagement session giveaway too. So it's very lucrative. If you do it the right way, it'll work. But there are other ways to do Facebook ads. You can do Facebook Messenger ads. You can do Facebook lead ads. You can do Instagram post boost and get engaged couples to like your stuff. And then you basically follow them and do the cold outreach that I spoke about earlier, okay? And then finally is wedding directories. We tried doing the Knot and Wedding Wire a couple years ago, and it wasn't very successful for us. However, I do know photographers who 50% of their business comes from these directories. And the ones who say that it works, the things I've noticed is they have a lot of reviews on their profile. So if you have 20, 30, 40, 50 plus reviews on the Wedding Wire or Knot, and you're on their advertising, I notice it works very well for those people. If you do not have a lot of reviews, if you do not have a lot of work quite yet, then I would not recommend doing the Wedding Wire or the Knot. And if you haven't paid attention recently, Wedding Wire and the Knot have combined forces. I think it's called like Wedding Pro or something like that. So they actually joined up together. I'm not familiar with how that platform is working right now. I think you just pay one advertisement fee and it puts you out on both platforms now. So I'm curious to dive a little bit more and learn more about that. However, I do know photographers where 50% of their clients and leads come from that source. But again, with the caveat of having some reviews on there. So again, it goes back to reviews, guys. Collect reviews. Always do Google, but if you can get them on Wedding Wire and Knot as well, do it, right? Because if you ever want to advertise on those platforms in the future, you have that opportunity to. All right? That's it, y'all. That was 11 ways to get more wedding photography clients. And if you do portrait or boudoir or any other types of photography, there's definitely plenty of ways in that list for you to use and get creative with to be able to bring in clients as well. I know giveaways are a huge thing with boudoir and portrait photographers in building up that list in Facebook groups, things like that. Oh, Facebook groups. There you go, 12 ways. I forgot one. This one I wanted to talk about. Create a Facebook group, and all of your leads, all of your clients, put them into that Facebook group. And I don't personally do this, but I know other people who run Facebook groups. You put them into that group. You give them valuable information. You do live videos, things like that. And you're going to get better reach than your Facebook business page, right? So instead of relying on your Facebook business page, put them into the Facebook group. I see portrait and boudoir photographers doing a really good job with the Facebook groups because they build a community, right? Even if they don't use them to take their photos, they're building a community of their ideal clients who all get along and all kind of the same similar type of people. And it builds a lot of trust around your brand. So Facebook groups, there's number 12. I'm glad I thought of that one. I left it off my list. All right, I'm done, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. If so, give us a like, subscribe. Drop something in the comments if you have any questions, if you need any more information. I make sure I reply to all comments, and I try to get to them as fast as possible. And if you're not already, come over and join us in the Booking Lab. I really would love to have you over there. I know Dana would love to have you over there too. In there, we go deeper into this type of information. And that's all I got. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Have a great day.